That green flag drops at 2:30 on Sunday. Reporting at the Speedway, I'm Michelle Knezovic. That will wrap it up for the first week of training camp. Starting on Monday, the players are going to hit the weight room for a week of conditioning, just one step closer to field play. Reporting in Indianapolis, I'm Michelle Knezovic. If you win a national championship, you're not going to dance?
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. We won 11 of them, and I haven't danced in any of them yet. Matter of fact, I didn't dance when I could dance.
Well, Coach will not be dancing, but make sure to follow their team. This first week is just being used for players to go in and get their COVID-19 tests before they can hit the field. We got a chance to talk to Matt Taylor, the voice of the Colts, and he said that these rookies are going to need to prove themselves early if they want to secure a spot on the roster. How tall are you?
6'9".
Okay, let's see. I think I'm as tall as you. Today, the Colts spoke to the media, and although they didn't practice yesterday, they used the time to have vulnerable conversations and make a plan for action. We didn't know if 2020 would give us a football season. Now, just 15 days until Jacksonville. Reporting outside Lucas Oil Stadium, I'm Michelle Knezovic.
Today I have with me Monica McNutt, basketball analyst for ESPN, Fox Sports, MSG Network, dabbled with overtime a little bit, and Georgetown Bowler.
Whatever you're like giving to the Salvation Army, let people know which one so they can go and find your pieces of clothing. The Colts are just about halfway through their first week of a padded practice, and Coach Reich said he's turning that kicking battle into a full team competition. A crazy year, but they're in the spotlight right now and really using their voices to make a change in this country. But gearing up this week, we're just 15 days away until their first game in Jacksonville. Nick, what is practice going to look like today?
And you were on the Instagram page breaking some ankles, they said. How did you feel just playing with your teammates and on such a big stage today?
We saw a lot with Kobe when he supported the WNBA. Think about how much more press you get on these games and attention via social media when you see people like that sitting courtside.
Teams have kicked off their 2020 season ranked in the top 25 AP polls, and they hit the ground running with their first couple of games.
With March right around the corner, the Syracuse Orange were in need of a big win. And even with 4 players scoring in double digits, they weren't able to beat the Blue Devils. We're going to ask you a bunch of rapid-fire questions, but the only trick is it's going to be 60 seconds. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, starting the timer. What was the first thing that you did when you woke up this morning?
Oh, I went and brushed my teeth.
What social media app did you check first?
Instagram.
How many times a day do you go on Instagram?
Oh, too many to count.
What are you doing for the rest of your day? DeForest Buckner and Darius Leonard, a dynamic duo on defense for the Colts. Today was the first day Buckner spoke to the media, and he says he can't wait to wear the horseshoe. The Racers said, yes, the atmosphere, it will be different this year, but there's only one thing that matters on race day, the finish line. The first big domino is falling. The Big Ten is expected to cancel their college football season tomorrow. And as for the NFL, they're still continuing to try to have a normal season, but will have less fans in the stands. The Colts' T.Y. Hilton says it's not going to affect his game day energy. Phillip Rivers is no stranger to the NFL, 16 seasons with the Chargers, but in Indianapolis, he's a new kid on the block. He said he was even nervous getting to know all of his new teammates.
Switching up sports just a little bit, Syracuse men's basketball landed a 5-star recruit. Dior Johnson will be joining the Orange in 2022. The point guard visited Syracuse at the beginning of the month, and not even a week later, he committed. Tiana is supposed to have a full recovery after her double mastectomy this fall and is set to get back on the court next season. She says that she cannot wait for her comeback season and plans to declare for the 2021 WNBA draft. The women's basketball team will be back in action tomorrow as they have an ACC matchup against Clemson. Tip-off is at 6 p.m.
Fortunately for the guys lower on the totem pole, the practice squads will have 16 players instead of 10 this year due to COVID-19. So what do you think is going to be one of the biggest battles for a spot on the roster?
As a whole, just because we changed our hairstyles a lot. So, and this one is like kind of like the universal hairstyle, I feel like. So this was really just a way for me to represent Black women in the culture. It just reminds me just kind of where I come from and kind of Black art, and that's what really pushed me for it.
When it comes to finding inspiration for her artwork, Amaya doesn't look far. She looks within. Each canvas has a piece of her. her hairstyles, her love of music, and especially her friends.
I did a senior project in high school for kind of my Black is Beautiful, I kind of said. So it was a picture of me and some of my friends from school, and kind of just drew them just to show like Black is beautiful, and how like social media during that time, social media a lot was kind of talking about how Black women wasn't as beautiful as other races, and just kind of wanted to show people like we are, and like not only are we like beautiful on the outside, but we have these great personalities. So that's kind of where my inspiration came from.
Art does more than allow her to connect to her culture. It slows down that busy life of hers.
I looked at art as always that piece of me that helps me to stay calm and stay focused on what I have to do. So when everything gets hectic, like not only for basketball, like for academics, I could always look to art as that calm reliever kind of thing. So it's always been like that for me ever since I started playing basketball. So it kind of just helped me to progress as I got older. It helped with like patience and definitely being, like you said, meticulous in like my work and making sure that I'm able to, like for basketball for instance, it's all about footwork for me, especially as a center. I have to worry about my footwork and doing this certain type of moves. So kind of with art, it's the same thing. You have to make sure you have each stroke right in order to get a thicker stroke or a thinner stroke. So little things like that, it kind of intertwines with each other.
Recently, Amaya has showcased her work on social media. The feedback she received was so much more than she expected.
I feel good, definitely. Like I was just like, wow, like I didn't realize that my artwork could like get some type of emotion that it did from so many different people.